Welcome to Ask Man, everyone. And today, I don't know how to put this, but I'll put it to you this way. You get two wins for the price of one because, believe it or not, my guest name is Win 2, and actually Win Fred, but he goes by Win. So Win is, the other Win, is a content creator in the artist sense, and so I'm going to let Win take it away.
Well, I certainly thank you for having me on Win, so it's going to be kind of awkward here. We're going back and forth with wins, but anyway, my name is Win Thompkins, and I'm a gospel artist. I started out my career as a gospel artist, and I've achieved, some success in the gospel music arena. And right now I'm making a transition into inspiration and new thought music. And I'm also in the midst of writing a book, inspirational novel entitled Dibble Dabble. And we'll get into that later. So I started at the age of 14. I met a country singer, some of you may know, Z. Clemens. He was a famous country singer out of Nashville. He was impressed with my singing voice, so he signed me up for my first recording deal, with Cross and Crown Records out of Nashville, Tennessee. And 2 years later, he brought I and my brothers up. We recorded our first album entitled Keep On Pushing. And like they say, the rest is history since we recorded, I recorded more than 300 songs and have 7 albums living in the marketplace. And right now, I'm making my transition, but I recorded an album entitled With People in Mind that I performed in local Science of Mind centers, Unity churches, and, Universal Truth centers, and, in between my gospel tours, because after my mind began to expand, I began to search and really search for truth. I kind of got to the point that I really didn't want to do any more gospel touring. I just wanted to do inspirational stuff because when I traveled and touring doing gospel, I used to travel with a 10-piece band. And, that was my livelihood for years. But in my transition to inspirational, I'm doing everything now by myself, so I'm getting ready now in preparation to do a new album. But anyway, I just, in my transition, as I began to learn more about who I am and the universe and how I'm at one with the universe, my message began to change, which, I have no problem with other people's beliefs, but I just had to come to the point of realization, what is my belief? What am I comfortable with? What resonates within me about what and how and who that I believe in. So that's why I am when it comes to that. But I'm in the midst of writing a inspirational novel that I hope to probably self-publish within the year, and it's titled Dibble Dabble, and it's a very interesting book that it starts out, it's like, when I say novel, because it has some characters in it that this guy, his wife passed that he was with for 48 years, and he made her some promises to, change his life and change his way of thinking to be more well-rounded when it comes to different cultural beliefs. So, as she passed, there was a interfaith, sort of like an interfaith religious tolerance conference coming to their town. So he got together with his 2 daughters and his future brother-in-law and some more kin people, and he decided to board some people at his house. He had an extra house on his property, and so the whole story is talking about how people can get together with different religions and everything and not try to proselytize and convert someone, but the whole thing is based on tolerance, love, and peace. So that's why I am. That's what I'm doing now in my life now. So I'm a very person that I guess you could say in a way that I'm introvert, but I still get out. I know that it's not all about what's in me. It's all about what's outward too. So I try to keep my life balanced when it comes to that. So that's why I am now. So I'm beginning to now to go out and do, small concerts and stuff like that, just by myself. But other than that, I'm a family man. I have 2 stepsons and my wife, and I'm one of 10 kids born and raised in Fort Lauderdale, Pompano Beach area in Florida. So, and I've been doing gospel all my life. So right now I'm still in this transition to where, I want to write what's on my heart, not just write songs that I think that people want to hear for, to chart or to, go for the awards and stuff, because my last gospel album, I was up for a Stellar Award. And that was very, very good, but I still didn't have peace within because I wasn't really doing and writing the music that I felt was on my heart. So that's why I am, and I thank you for having me on the show. So if you have any questions or anything, we can go from there.
Well, Pete, you gave the Reader's Digest version there, but I have a question because I have heard that artists who sell on iTunes or any of the streaming media make pittance as compared to selling a CD or as compared to selling a record. I know you guys are dating me. I'm dating myself with the LPs here. But are you finding when you're selling your music digitally, you're not making as much royalties as you could be, or how does that work for you?
Well, the way it's changed now, when I was doing gospel, when I released my first single gospel back in 2004, my first gospel album was titled Foot Stomping. In 2004, it was on CD. The internet was around, but it wasn't like it is now. So it was still mostly physical product to where you had to get, you send your CDs to the radio station. You had to do a big mail out, and then you send how many pieces that the distributor wanted and stuff like that. And I look at it like it's changed so much, but there's some ups and downs on both sides. Now, when you used to have the physical product, I think when you have a good distributor and an honest distributor, I think back then I made more money then because the product that I sold, I got paid for it. But now with this digital thing, you put it on CD Baby or iTunes or Amazon, they sell it all over the world. Who's to know really what you're getting? So that's kind of, but that's where things have, changed and things have went that way. So you kind of got to play ball with that. But I used to sell most of my product when I used to do live concerts, live events and stuff like that. I know what was on my table. I put all my albums out, all my product when it comes to my CDs, and then, the type of music that I was doing was very traditional gospel. So a lot of the old timers were still asking for cassettes. So I knew what I had, but now it's like, once you put your stuff in the digital world, you never know where it's going and who's downloading. So you can only accept what they say that you sold and send it to you. So it's, they're still trying to get a better handle on it, but it's kind of hard to really trace and know exactly what's going on.
Yeah, and that's what I've heard. I've heard via the grapevine that all artists do not like iTunes, and I'm beginning to not like Amazon for my books because I make pittance on my books because my SEO is not that good. My search engine optimization is awful, So that's why I've teamed up with a publisher, you guys, to help me publish my books in the same sense that Wynn is talking about, because I want to make sure I'm getting the best bang for my buck, no pun intended. But at the same time, when you guys stream Wynn's music on iTunes or Amazon or Google Music, he's not necessarily getting the big bucks as if you guys buy a CD off his website. I mean, I don't even know if he has CDs on his website. Do you?
Yes, you can order my CDs from my website at www.UncleWinsMusic. So anything that you need, you can order from my website. But most of my music now is not a physical product. People just download it. They order it off of CD Baby and Amazon and iTunes and stuff. So that's very, when I do a new album now, I may have at least maybe 1,000 CDs. But used to, man, I used to come out the box with 5,000, 10,000 CDs. But now, it's very rare unless you do like a lot of live events. And the audience that I'm reaching now, that I'm going to be reaching, I think that the CDs will do pretty good there, because you got a lot of people, between the ages of 30 all the way up to 65, 70, and a lot of those people are not computer literate like a lot of the young people. Now when you do R&B, hip hop, and all that stuff, it's like CDs are sort of like what a CD, what is that? So it's all downloads, but in the area that I'm my genre, I'll still be able to sell CDs. It's the same thing.
I know that, because people are not, your generation is not used to this Napster thing, and I know I'm dating myself, you guys. Napster is a place before iTunes where I never did, but I know several people that did, that stole music off Napster just to have it. Thank you very much. And then Napster went bye-bye, and then iTunes popped on the scene for 99 cents, which, as Wynn talks about, as a content creator, that 99 cents is certainly not going to him. That 99 cents is going somewhere, everywhere but to him. And so I was just curious how you felt about iTunes and all this digital jazz about music, no pun intended. But I understand that you have a better feeling about selling CDs than you do this digital music realm.
Yes. Another thing, when this digital music realm first come out, a lot of marketers and promoters they say, take the attitude of this. At least you're getting your name spread. A lot of people that never knew about you that will know about you, but don't expect to get paid a whole lot of money. So there's still ways that these big companies, iTunes and all these big major distributors, they know they're not doing the artist fairly, but what else can you do? So my thing is to really establish myself in this genre, because I was established in the gospel arena, but now I'm in another arena. So in this genre, I'm trying to establish myself that I can go out and do live events, even if I sell digital cards to people for digital downloads that doesn't want the CDs. So that's about the best route to go now, but if you just depend upon that digital world, I mean, no, I wouldn't suggest that.
No. And even with the author, they're talking about multiple streams of income, but still in the digital realm of books, you're not making money like you should. And granted, I admit I should have started earlier publishing books than I actually did, but now, that's why I've teamed up with the publisher, you guys, to help me, distribute my books, because one, my search engine optimization is terrible. Two, I'm sick of making pittance on my books. I mean, it's downright shameful what they're doing to all these content creators, and Win will agree with me. I mean, gee, they're not giving us any rights whatsoever, any accolades whatsoever, and so that's why I've started this podcast to get content creators like Win out there and help them out a little bit, but still they're not helping us out. They're making books 99 cents now, and it's like, I can't pay my bills on the 99-cent book. I wish I could, but that's why I have paired up with a publisher, and that's why when at the time had a distributor to distribute his CDs, and that's how we do it now, because with all these digital downloads, you never know what you're going to get.
Right. And you never know who has the product, who's handling it. I sort of like done a trace thing one time. It was like so many, oh my God, it had to go through this, this, that. So, but from their point of view, when you got 1 million artists out there trying to do the same thing, from their point of view, it's great, because that 99 cent that they take from you, they took it from another million artists. That's great for them, but it's not good for the artists.
No, and some people find another way to get around the 99 cents or $2.99 in my case for Amazon books, and it drives me nuts, because I'm like, pay for the work. People put their blood, sweat, and tears into this. Oh, by the way, you guys, Win has a show, and yours truly, this Win is going to be on Win's show in September. So why don't we talk about your radio show and your podcast here? Because quite frankly, I think if we talk about digital downloads, that will make us both English.
I got you. Yes, I have a weekly show that comes on every Thursday, 10 p.m. Eastern. It's titled The Love Factory, the LUV Factory Show. And we promote love, unity, and vision, where we talk about self-love. We talk about community love. We also talk about love and relationship, love and romance. So we're just trying to cover all the facets of love with different speakers from all over the world that comes on every Thursday. Every Thursday we have a special guest that comes on. And so far, we've been getting pretty good response. And also, we have different artists, some local artists, and then we have some mainstream artists that come on and share, what they're doing and, what they're doing in the world to promote love, peace, and tolerance. So the Love Factor Show, that's what we're all about. So we in Tampa, Florida, but we're on about 5 stations in this area. And plus, we have the podcast on www.tantalk1340.com. So that's every Thursday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Yes, and as I said, yours truly is going to be on September 20th. So this ought to be interesting. Talking about love and talking about using the power of love to write books. And yeah, by the time I come on, you guys, by the time I do this interview with Win, my publisher should be up and running. I should have more more money than I would ever know what to do with, or so we hope. I hope
Okay.
I hope the digital realm doesn't get to me, but that's why I hired good people behind me, because if you're smart and want to make it in the digital download realm, you're going to have to get people behind you, and you're going to have to get your tribe behind you. And I said to win, I said to Win that I would help him publish his book and give him guidance, because when he first contacted me, he actually contacted me about being on his show through my website. I was shocked. I was blown away that people actually look at my website, askwin.webelieve.com, and contact me. And so when this interview request came through, I contacted him 24 hours after, and I said, how did you find me? Two, what's going on here? And he goes, by the way, my name is Win too. And I'm like, well, this is inside, because what happened was my paternal grandmother's name was Winifred. And you guys don't know that. I've never shared this story yet. And she actually went by Pauline Winifred, and she changed it all legally to Win, because she thought Winifred was too old school. Now, granted, she was born in the early 50s, so for her to think Winifred was too old school at that time, oh my God. And so that's where I got my Win from, was actually my paternal grandmother. And it's so funny when you meet people with the same name. You're the second guy I have met who's Win. I rarely meet people with Win, and what drives me nuts, and this probably drives you nuts, is people spell W-I-N like craziness. I mean, I hate to ask you, but I will. What's the wonkiest spelling you have got on your name?
Most people spell it W-Y-N-N or W-I-N-N.
Okay, same here. We're in that boat together, because people understand it as win a soccer game, but they don't understand it as win, the actual name. So I've got W-Y-N-N, W-Y-N-N-E. I mean, the list goes on and on, you guys. So it's interesting. The simplest name is going to be spelled the wonkiest you can ever imagine. And people actually think that, and they probably do this to you to Win, that my last name is my first name. I mean, they'll call me Charles Win all the time if I don't correct people. So I have to spell my name when I meet people. It makes me sound like a real idiot, but I have to spell my name when I meet people.
I understand. Now, I have most people, they can remember Win, but my last name, instead of Thompkins, they call me Thompson, Thomas, Thompkins. I mean, all kind of funny names. I'd be like, no.
Oh my God. So you have the opposite end of the spectrum to me on that one. They can remember Charles, but they can't seem to remember Winnie, you guys. They just can't. And so, Win, what would be your closing thoughts for this interview? And then I can ask, where can people find you? And then you get to ask me a couple questions that you want to ask me?
Well, my thing is, first of all, I'd like to say thank you for having me on the show, and I really enjoyed it. And I just want people to understand, where I'm coming from, and there's nothing like understanding people and people understanding you. And all my get is I try to get an understanding, because when I first went to your site, I said, well, I need to call her and see can I get her on the show. And as we talk, we got these two wins now that have met, so I know that there is something in the future for both of us, working together doing something. So other than that, I just want the audience to know that I appreciate you listening, and and you can find my stuff on www.UncleWinsMusic, and you can find my stuff on CD Babies, on iTunes, Amazon. All you got to do is just Google my name, Win Thompkins, and a lot of stuff will come up. Right now, most of the stuff that's out in the digital world is my gospel stuff, and maybe a couple of inspirational stuff, but that's where I am now, so it's easy to find me.
And as I said to you guys, Win is spelled W-I-N in this case. Same as my Win. So you can't Google. You can either Google my name or Win Thompkins' name, but you need to spell it W-I-N. We do not like the wonky spellings of our name. And I'm sorry that we don't. It's Win. It's W-I-N. And to give you a quote from the latest football team, just win, baby. And that's what I said at the age of 6. And so people would just remember how to spell my name. I mean, as I said, it drives me nuts when people spell my name wrong, and it drives me nuts. And so, to those who want to win out there, support independent content creators and support people that you love and support this new digital content realm, because that would help all of us. Now, Lynn, what are your questions for me?
Well, my question is like, how do you, it's hard enough dealing with these everyday toys when it comes to being a content writer and putting your ideas down and all this stuff, but you continue to do it, and you may not have gotten rich off of it, but you're still hanging in there. I mean, what is the driving motivation behind that?
The driving motivation behind my books and the driving motivation behind my content creator work is to inspire people to face their challenges with grace and style, and basically to win at life. No pun intended. I mean, it's you can either face your challenges with grace and style. My main challenge is cerebral palsy, and it's a physical disability which I'll die with. According to Google, I have lived past my age where I'm supposed to live. Depending on the severity of cerebral palsy, people are only supposed to live until 30. Well, I'm 31, so that's past the age limit right there, and I didn't want to scare you guys with that number, but I knew the number was low, but not that low, and I think I'll live to the expected age limit of 70, because my cerebral palsy isn't that low and isn't that high, and my cerebral palsy is moderate but not severe to the point where I can do content, and this is the work that keeps me going. I also teach on the side, but teaching has its drawbacks too. And you guys will hear me bark and squawk. You can make more money as a content creator than you can teaching kids any day or being in the teaching field any day. And it's just shameful, and I think that teachers should make more money than they actually do, and that's why I'm pursuing a degree in journalism, and I'll be graduating as a journalist in 2019, and then that's it for me going back to school. That's it. And because school and me do not mix. And right now I'm having one of those moments where I want school to be over, but I know there's light at the end of the tunnel, and it's like, really, do I have to do more homework and more content created and get okay grades on it? And I am right now maintaining a B and 2 C's, and I'm hoping to pull those up. And although if I maintain the C, I can still pass the class. But I'm like, really? One more day with a tutor, and so I'm at the point where where most college students are. They want to be out, they want to be done, they just want to experience that freedom. And my stepsister is also feeling the same feelings I'm feeling. She's in the communications degree. It's the last semester of school forever, and she's just feeling, are we done yet? So if I sound a little depressed, and that's because school is really, really tough right now, but and I apologize for the phone ringing back now, but my ultimate goal is to inspire people and just have people living their dreams.
Right. Okay. I mean, you answered it. Now, we got time for one more question?
Yeah. Yeah,
okay.
Go ahead.
For as publishing your own books, what's your greatest challenge?
And I say this with a sigh. My greatest challenge is not writing the books. It's formatting the books. It's marketing the books. And I hate editing. Editing is not my favorite. I've decided I'm a journalist that hates to edit. Hates to edit. I mean, I'm like another round of editing. So no, I have a strong team behind me that can edit my books for me. But I'm like formatting the book, and so that's the other reason why I team it up with a publisher. I just hand it to them, pay them, and say, here, you deal with the editing aspect. I'll deal with the marketing aspect. The marketing aspect, I don't mind, but the editing and the formatting and yeah, the editing and the formatting for ebooks is dreadful. And way back when I published my book, during the formatting process, I had a beautiful cover with a beautiful subtitle, and they squished my subtitle. I'm like, oh my god. And this is during the formatting process 7 years ago. I just left it on there, but since then I've changed the cover of I Come On In and made it better. But it's like, oh my god, you guys squished my subtitle. I worked so hard on this book, and now my audience gets to see the squished subtitle. And it's like, oh my god. So the editing and the formatting are my nemesis. Not writing books, not marketing the books. It's behind the scenes work to make the book look beautiful.
So that's the part that I'm getting ready to get into it. You just scared me. But anyway, when it comes to the formatting, I know nothing about that. So
I'm happy to guide people through it. And my advice, and I'll share this publicly, is never, ever, ever, ever use Create Space Cover Creator. Always, if you can afford it, the two things, always, one, get a professional editor, because your family's not a professional editor, and two, get a professional cover design if you can afford it. That will save you hours and hours of formatting mess.
Okay. All right. That's
and
good to know that.
My biggest thing is I'm less concerned about the cover. I'm more concerned about the editing of these books, because the problem with Amazon, you guys, and I will share this publicly too, is they'll even let cats and dogs and other animals of the sea publish books without having them edited. So basically they'll let anyone and anything publish a book as long as it has pause, and I'm not kidding when I say that. So the well-edited book gets stuck at the bottom of the heap, and so that's why I'm making pittance off my books, because I get stuck at the bottom of the heap, because they'll let anyone and anything publish a book.
Oh, so you're saying they allow people to publish books that don't be edited?
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, and they'll let that on edited. No, they'll let people publish a book that isn't edited. Yeah. And so that's my problem, and so that's why I've teamed up with a publisher and to help me out. And my editor, who's wonderful now, has said to me, I'll help you edit to the best of my abilities. And so, yeah, that's why I got an editor, a professional editor, David, because, and my book shot to #1 because of that editing and the way I did it. And of course, curiosity kills cat. Strangers are curious about cerebral palsy and the way I did it. And so they'll let any book on Amazon that you can imagine.
I didn't know that. Okay. So this book is a new world for me, so I'm trying to understand it. And while I do my music, so it's like I'll be sort of like crisscrossing the both worlds. So, but anyway, you and I, we're going to be talking. So when I get ready to do mine, so.
Oh yes, we are. Oh yes, we are. Because as I said to many of you guys, I'll help him with his book, and then I'll help anyone with their book that wants to contact me. I'm actually doing the first session for free, and then it's going to be $25 to $45 an hour to have you guys consult with me. And then I'm actually going back to coaching school, not school, but coaching school after I get my degree, to become a coach for those first-time book writers, but my niche is going to be helping the disabled write and publish their books, because it's a scary process. It's a scary process. I mean, I've been through it 8 times already, and it still scares me. Am I doing this right? And trust me, I have been through it 8 times already, but I'm like, that's why I've teamed up with a publisher, you guys. I'm done. I'm done fighting Amazon. I'm done fighting everyone, and I'm done just with the monotony of oh, let's publish a book and call it good and say that we have a book even if we don't edit the book. I mean, my book was edited day one, and even though my editor gave me a discount, it was still edited, and it still doesn't sell as well as I would like it because, as I said, people are out there publishing books and without taking the time to edit books and to relate the spec to music. If you don't edit your music, it's going to be tough for you to sell music. Hello? And so it's going to be tough for you to sell a book, and that's why the edited books get, except for the Stephen Kings, get stuck to the bottom of the heap because anyone with the anyone can become an Amazon best-selling author, but only the good ones can become a New York Times best-selling author on USA Today. And I think they're giving Amazon number one best-selling authors like candy because it's all about how many books you sell. People don't care about edited books, and so that's why I'm saying that Amazon should stop allowing unedited books on Amazon, and I'm sure I'm going to get hate mail, and I'm sure I'm going to get, well, when this takes blood, sweat, and tears, I don't want to edit. I don't have the cash to pay editor, but you need to find the cash to pay a professional editor. Get a side hustle. I don't care. Sell your music like Win does, or get a side hustle. I don't care. If you want to write a book, get it edited. Thank you very much. End of highlight. End of public announcement.
And that's a good public announcement, Deb. Yeah, do it right. I understand.
Yeah, I don't care. I'm done. I mean, the content creators are done making pittance off their music or off their books. The content creators need to make $100, and it's so easy to be a content creator now, you guys. But it's also so hard because you have all these doors open to you, but you guys don't seem to use the doors wisely and hire editors and music producers. So for those of you trying to produce music, hire the music producers, please, because if it's I won't be surprised if it's the same.
Yes, it's the same. It's the same. You got a lot of people trying to go out into the marketplace, and they don't do the right thing. They try to produce their own, and they doesn't do all the mastering, don't do the editing, and that just keep you. You can't really rise high. You gotta keep it standard and go with as quality as you can, and whatever you do, excellent as whatever you do.
Yes, and that's a good point. And sorry, I muted my mic because I got a phone call in the middle of it, and so I had to mute my mic. Sorry about this, you guys. But when Thompkins took off and basically said, create the best content you can. So I appreciate you guys listening to this podcast interview, and we'll have all of Wynn's information in the show notes. And I appreciate you guys supporting all the content creators out there, and just keep being fabulous, you guys. And I know you can do it, but please, 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 for all of us, don't put music up on Amazon without it being produced, and don't put books up on Amazon without them being edited. It will save you an arm and a leg. And don't use your family as music producers, or don't use your family as editors. That's my advice, and I'll leave it at that. I'll leave you with advice to think on, and I appreciate you guys listening, and I appreciate your support. Thanks to you guys. Bye.